Hello and welcome back to another episode of Strings Back to the Podcast. I'm your host Esther Edu, and there's a little bit of a scene change today. I'm in my family's office today, so I'm filming this really late, so I had to change my location. But today is the first episode I'm filming since school started, which is like super different since I'm a lot more busy now. But I want to come in here and talk about how important, balancing your school, workload and also your own personal goals is, because in the summertime there's definitely a lot more time for personal development and all those types of things, just focusing on yourself and just being able to grow in all the ways you want to. But when you get into the school year, it's so much hard to keep up with those things because it just gets so much more busy with extracurriculars and stuff like that. So especially if you're involved in music, it's hard to keep up with your practice and stuff like that. And so in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about how you can keep on balancing your school workload even as you go into the school year, and trying to also keep doing better with your extracurriculars and stuff like that, especially if you're involved in music. Alright, so as of the first thing when I'm talking about the subject is, I think I just have to learn to start adjusting for the school year and realizing that there just isn't as much time for things. I mean, over the summer, I can spend extensive amounts of time just working toward a goal for String Spark, something I want to see in String Spark. I could spend lots of time practicing my instrument, violin. I could spend lots of time doing stuff like that. But during school season or when school's starting up again, there simply isn't enough time for that. And I had a hard time accepting again that I have to go back to school and do the assignments and stuff like that. But just understanding that the school year is a different time, and just making sure to carve out enough time for your academics and then enough time for your music practice and all your other endeavors. Just adjusting and having grace to yourself with how much time you can put in. As long as it's consistent, it's gonna reap really well and you're going to be proud of yourself at the end of the year. So I definitely say that just adjusting your schedule as needed, giving yourself grace, understanding that your schedule is going to look different during the school year than it did in the summertime. But just remember that consistency is what's going to get you where you want to go. So don't be too disappointed if you can't put in, say, the same amount of work as you put in the summertime. But just remember that, there's different seasons for different reasons. So it's okay if you have to split up time you otherwise would have given to your hobby or something with schoolwork. And that's all part of a balance. So yeah. And then second, I would honestly think, balancing schoolwork and personal goals. I would also say to have patience with yourself, because I can also be, the school year is such an expansive amount of time of the year, right? So there's lots of time to be growing into advancing your extracurriculars, getting better at your instrument, improving your musical journey. There's a lot of time in the school year for that. And so I think it's really important to remember that and to have patience in the process with your practice. Patience in the process with practicing and getting toward those ensembles you want to get into, the groups you want to get into, your auditions you have coming up, just having patience with them and not rushing the preparation process, not rushing how you prepare and just feeling rushed in your practice. Just remembering that the school year is a time for growth and there's lots of time for that, and that just being patient with yourself and remembering that you have time, you have a whole brand new year ahead of you to achieve what you want to achieve in your musical journey and all those kind of things. So yeah, just practicing patience, because I know that when I'm practicing personally too, my goodness, I just think about, oh my gosh, I'm practicing for this audition, I'm really stressed out. But I'm just thinking to myself, I may just started practicing for my auditions because it's only the beginning of the school year. But you know, I'm going to get better as time goes on. I'm going to get better as I'm consistent and I stick with what I'm trying to work toward. So yeah, just having patience with yourself as you're working toward what you want to achieve is just super important. And just remembering that wait. No. There's a whole 10 months. Actually, yeah. There's a whole 10 months of the school year. So even if you just get a little bit better each month, you will see such great progress musically and everything you're trying to do this school year. And just to not give up on yourself is just super important. And then the last thing I want to say is that you have to be proactive if you really want to see growth in all that you're working on this school year. For example, I would say me filming this podcast actually is me being proactive because literally, you know, school gets so busy. I've already had so much homework the past few days. But, you know, at the same time, I really do prioritize my music and also, you know, teaching for String Spark. I do prioritize those things as well. I'm very passionate about music. I want to, you know, help others and inspire that out of you as well. And, you know, it takes being proactive to keep up with those things because it's so easy, especially if, like, you know, you're a driven student. I care a lot about school. I think it's very important. And so it's really easy to get consumed with it and overwhelmed with it. And it's really important and it helps me remember just that, you know, while school is important and all those types of things, that there is a whole other side to, you know, life and goals and striving for success and all those things. And that can look like non-academic success too. So just being proactive about, you know, making time for other things outside of homework, outside of studying, and building time, daily time for other things in your schedule is so crucial for just, you know, being happy where you end up at the end of the school year. And yeah, and I just really hope this episode, I mean, I've been struggling with balancing getting to school again and then keeping up with my practice musically and, you know, just continuing to keep up with what I'm working on musically. And I just want to come in here and encourage everyone listening that it's okay to struggle with that balance and just remembering to be proactive about keeping and sustaining your goals, remembering to be patient with yourself, remembering that it's okay to adjust and give yourself grace. Even as school starts and you still have these goals you're working toward, is so, so important. And I hope these reminders just help you to be happier with yourself and land in a good spot at the end of the school year. So I hope this helped you guys or just anybody listening. So yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.